Hello students, welcome to part 2 of our lesson about balance. Today we are going to create a radial balance square to teach us more about radial balance in the principles of design and art. Let's begin. Here is the exercise I drew on the lesson of balance. There are 3 types: radial, symmetrical, and asymmetrical. Symmetrical is when your artwork contains elements that are the same on both sides, whereas asymmetrical is when there are different elements and images on both sides, but it is still balanced throughout the entire art piece, with other elements such as color, texture, etc. Radial balance is a form of symmetrical balance where elements within an image radiate outward from a central point. This way, they create an even pattern, adding depth and visual movement to a picture. It can help bring the viewer's eyes to a subject placed in the center. In our radial balance square today, I will show you how to transfer your design from one panel to the next until it is mirrored throughout your entire square. For today's artwork, you will need the following supplies: white printer paper, a sharp wooden pencil. A mechanical pencil will not work as well for this project. A pencil sharpener, scissors, a good eraser, and a black marker. Here I have both regular-sized black marker and a fine-tip black marker, just in case I need to make smaller details. You will also need a blunt rubbing tool to transfer your image from one part of the square to the next. I just used the round end of my black marker. The first thing we are going to do is create a square out of this printer paper, as we have done in the past. Make sure the diagonal fold is nice and crisp around the edges, and they are lined up well, and your corner is brought to a sharp point. Create a crease to show where you need to cut the excess paper, and then you have your square. Once you made your square, fold the diagonal crease once more. Then turn the paper over and fold it back on itself the other way, so you have a nice hinge fold where it can move back and forth easily. Rotate your paper and fold again once more in half on the diagonal. Turn the paper over, fold again on the same crease to create another hinge fold. Once you have the X crease, fold in half, vertically and horizontally. These folds will create 8 triangle sections within the square. The patterns we will create will be drawn in one of the triangles. Draw very lightly in case you want to change your design. You can draw whatever you like: words, a landscape, a single image. Just remember to keep the lines simple so it will transfer easily. Do not do any shading. For mine, I lightly sketched some abstract work within this single triangle. Once I was finished, I went over each line again with my pencil with heavier pressure. You now want your art to be very bold, as we are going to rub this design onto the next triangle. Here is my design with smooth, dark lines. Now we are going to begin the transfer process. Fold the square in half with the drawing inside, and on the other side, you should still be able to see the designs you created. Where your design is located, take your rounded rubbing tool and with heavy pressure, rub over the entire triangle. Make sure you rub over the edges very carefully. The reason why you should use a rounded or blunt tool to transfer your art is to keep your paper from wrinkling or ripping. When you are finished, open it up and you will see your design transferred onto the neighboring triangle. Once the art is transferred, take your pencil and outline everything on the new triangle once more with heavy pressure so you can repeat the process onto the next triangle. You will continue to do this all the way around until your pattern is transferred throughout the entire square. As you add more pencil markings to your paper, you may end up with smudges on the side of your drawing hand, or on your fingers as you move the paper around. I am left-handed, so I have to be very careful where I lay my hand so I do not smudge my work. Take your time and be very careful. If you accidentally make any smudge marks, just have your eraser handy. You could try and transfer the design to multiple triangles at once, but I personally do not recommend this as you might have more smearing and smudging. Your design will not be as clean if you try to transfer the design to multiple triangles at the same time. Just be patient and transfer one triangle to the next until all 8 triangles are filled. Here is my square completely filled. Now I am going to take my 2 black markers and outline everything once more, maybe even fill in some of the sections in solid black, just so long as I do the exact same coloring and outlining to each section. When you are done using your black markers, take your eraser and erase any visible pencil markings to make it clean and streamlined. You could add color to your artwork, but I am going to leave mine black and white. I am going to sign my name and date it in the front in between one of the patterns in the square. And there you have it. This is a really fun technique I am happy to share with you. It is very similar to the rubbing art we created when we were working with leaves and indoor items for our lesson on texture, remember? I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on radial balance. Until next time, take care and stay creative.